the thing that I want to ask is, what did you learn about yourself during this filming process?
Well, that was the reason that I made the decision to even go on. I am certainly in a season of growth in my life. 10 plus years ago, I made the conscious choice to just step away from it all. I needed to, for my own sanity. I have kids. I needed to be very present. And you do that many times by getting away from the spotlight. But over the past year and a half, 2 years, my kids are older. They know my story. And I'm comfortable now in knowing that people need to see a living example of, you can come back from stuff.
Yeah.
You can come, not just come back, but you can come back and shine and flourish. And the only way to do that is to put myself back out there. But because of those 10 plus years, Cam, I'm so confident in who I am and what I believe. And I know that there are critics. You know it. And at this point, I'm like, just bring it. I am who I am. This is how I think. This is how I live. And people needed to see that, right? Also, you get to a point in your life where everybody needs to do something a bit uncomfortable. You start to become, well, you're not there yet, but once you start to hit 45 and 50, you look for a life of comfort. And I think that's actually what expedites death, really. You're so comfortable, you're not challenged anymore, you don't think outside the box. And I needed to do something that was going to be a challenge and that my kids can look at and say, you know what? Wow.
Yeah.
I see you, Mama.
Yeah. You said something here where you took a step away. Like, what did that journey look like for you? And we're gonna get into many different topics, during this time. But how? Like, what was the process to say, hold on, let me take a step back? What did that look like for you?
Well, in regards to the physical, it meant I'm staying away from TV when it comes to anything to do with me or the sports that I've participated in or the commentary around it, because I know that my name is going to be associated with all of it.
Right.
And again, I could not control, Cam, that narrative of me. So I chose to not listen to it. I chose to not read, certain things during the Olympics. There were a number of Olympics that I chose not to be a part of, not watch, none of that, because I know that that was going to bring me back to a place of hurt and pain and embarrassment, to be honest with you. So that's what it looked like for me. But more so, I'd say, who is Marion Jones away from sport?
Yeah.
And as you know, if it's all you've done your entire life, you start to equate, I am football or I am running.
Yeah.
And that's not accurate. But if you don't explore other areas of your life, like what other passions do you have? You'll never know that.
Yeah.
And in that time away, I learned, one, that I love to be a mother. I love being a mama. I love taking on the responsibility of creating and I have 3 kids who are almost grown now, but 3 humans that are good, that are honest, that are are gonna, I know, be this positive contributors to this life. That to me is the
What's
ultimate.
the age?
I have a 21-year-old.
Okay.
I have a 17-year-old freshman in college, and then my daughter's 15. She's a sophomore in high school. And I needed to be fully present for them because of the shoes that at some point they were going to probably have to fill, especially if they were athletic.
For sure.
Right? And so I needed them to get a solid base of what it's like to be in a household where this is how we do things, this is how you're supposed to do it, X, Y, and Z. And I needed that time away from it all.
I think when I was watching the show, the thing that I enjoyed most is seeing a different version of the person that I saw. And you know Marion Jones, the Olympian, you kind of hear what happened, but you don't know what happened.
Yeah.
How was that process of really reopening that, I want to say, the scab to just let the world know, like, yo, this is who I am. And what was the mental going into that?
It's so freeing, liberating. For many years, my story, the narrative was already written for me.
Okay, which was what?
All right. Super talented, star-studded athlete, lots of talent, who just has a hard time making good decisions about everything, about relationships, about coaching, about business, about money. And this is what happens, right? You lose it all, right? You make poor decisions. And although, my consequence was extreme compared to anybody else's, people just like, well, that's part of the black athlete.
Yeah.
He just kind of fits into that narrative. And what this time in my life, the past few years has looked like, Cam, is Marion now creating her own narrative, right? Not allowing, whether it's in interviews or even like on the show, even if they came into it, if we go back momentarily to the Special Forces, if they came into it with an idea of how they were going to portray me, I wouldn't allow them to do that, because if they don't show me at all, that's one thing. And there were a few people they didn't show at all. But if they did show me, this is who I am, right? I'm caring, I'm nurturing, I'm focused, I'm competitive, right? There's nothing else behind the scenes that they're gonna get if they had another agenda. Like maybe she's, she feels like she's been wronged. That's not, I don't walk around like that. I am who I am. And I think, as opposed to some of you all, because I think you are in this boat with whom they portrayed negatively on the show, I think I was spared a little bit in the show, in terms of, I think that even in the mirror room, I was able to say what I needed to say. I knew they had an agenda, but again, I had an agenda.
For sure.
Right? And I'm going to make sure that I express this about who I am, what my kids mean to me, what this journey has been, and they could edit it however they want. But ultimately, I'm going to get across what I need to.